Hello, and welcome to our review of the latest episode of Doctor Who. This week's episode was Thin Ice. And we start off with Sean's thoughts. So, what did you think?
It's very blue and grey. Sorry, it's just the colour scheme of the ice and everything made it look
I quite liked it.
I liked it. I liked the episode as a whole.
In terms of that colour scheme.
Not just the colour scheme, the whole episode as a whole.
Yeah.
I liked the fishy, like, I'm calling them anglerfish, and I'm not sure they were under the
They were
ice.
clearly based on anglerfish, you could see.
Well, yeah,
it, 'cause I think the idea is they weren't actually aliens, they were terrestrial.
I mean, anglerfish do look like aliens, but then most deep sea creatures look like aliens.
Oh, they look weird as anything. It's
And they're
wonderful.
terrifying. What the hell is that? That's a crab. That's not a crab. That's a space station. Anyway.
Yeah, you got me, damn it.
I was thinking, he's going to say it, so I'll just get it over and done with. But yeah, I liked the Baker Street Irregulars.
Mm-hmm.
Band of urchins. Even went into racism. I was like, okay, Doctor Who, we're doing this, are we?
I quite like that, actually, because
Yeah,
it is...
goodness.
This
Even
is...
my mum, up through the episode, went, there's a lot of black people in London. I went, calm down, Mum, calm down.
Well, even they said it in the
Brexit
episode
will
as well.
happen soon, don't worry.
Satire.
And,
Well, even they mentioned it in the episode as well, and I quite like the Doctor's kind of going with it's. Just look at Jesus though as well. History's been whitewashed,
Mention that to a
and it's
Christian,
very
they get-
true.
Mention that to a Christian, they get really angry. Jesus
I
probably
think-
wasn't white. Okay, a Christian in America.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to mention it to your typical idea of.
Jesus probably wasn't white. Their eyes just does not compute.
Yeah, they go with. But I've seen pictures.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, sure you have. It's photograph.
You are aware
evidence, isn't
Photoshop
it?
existed back then. It's just someone just changed the picture. Anyway, off the racism topics, that's going to get into a whole hotbed of issues.
Yeah, we'll move away.
The giant whale, or whatever it was.
Anglerfish thing.
No, the big thing. Not the angler. Big motherfucker. Tiny. That's the Doctor called it.
Tiny.
Tiny, which is the name of the penguin shark in Batman Arkham City.
That's the name of it's the go-to name. If you've got a giant monster of any kind, the go-to
Tiny.
nickname for it is Tiny.
Oh no, Batman's going to show up in a minute and punch it.
Well, it's the whole nature because you for comedic effect, you always go for a name that's completely a sort of juxtaposing to what it actually is. It's like
You hate the art of comedy.
it works for comedy because it's clearly the name that doesn't suit it. I mean, at my work, we've got a model saber-tooth cat, and when I'm on the shift that puts me near the thing and I'm talking about the animal to visitors, I say, and this is Tiddles. Because it gets a laugh, because it's a life-size saber-toothed cat, which is huge. It's a simple joke, but it works. If it's
Of
effective.
course it does.
They laugh, usually.
All the school kids laugh. Truly, you are the master of comedy.
No, it's not school kids I do it to.
With them, it's the way more PC humour for them.
No, with them it's just, this is a saber-toothed cat.
You should learn the Latin name for it instead of that.
Smilodon.
It's mine now. It's
Well,
not a bit
the
short,
particular one Well, the particular one that we have is Smilodon, which is the largest of the saber-toothed cats. The name literally means knife tooth.
or pull a Sam Neill in Jurassic Park and just pull out one of its claws.
I actually do have one of its teeth usually when
Do
I'm
you?
doing that talk, so I do the whole Sam Neill, Alan Grant.
Just trying to make it wet themselves.
Because I also actually have a Velociraptor claw in the bag as well. So
Okay,
I
define
literally-
Velociraptor here, because this is...
As in a proper Velociraptor.
That's a
claw.
proper Velociraptor.
We also have the claw from Deinonychus, which is what the raptors in Jurassic Park are based on. Anyway, we've gone away from Doctor
More
Who.
dinosaurs than Doctor Who is what I'm saying.
We had them last time.
I know, on a spaceship.
We've had dinosaurs on a spaceship, and of course we had Peter Capaldi's first episode, Deep Breath.
Yes, but more.
Giant dinosaur.
More giant dinosaurs. Anyway, back to the episode before we go
Yes.
off into dinosaurs. There was no dinosaurs, I'm upset now. There was an elephant.
There was an elephant. I quite like that.
It's like, hi, elephant. Kind of disappointed by the bad guy, was just a prick. Really.
It works.
Yeah. It's, like, yeah.
It's nice for us for once to kind of not
Just an
face it.
asshole.
It's the whole thing of there are just I know the typical the whole thing with the Doctor Who a lot of the time is it's an alien threat, and therefore the villains are aliens as well.
Or at least just memorable. No.
All right, he's not memorable particularly, but you don't always get memorable
Just
villains.
a jackass.
Yeah, and a part of me kind of likes that because it's very often the situation when humans are the bad guys in situations like that. It's because of a sense of superiority or profit and things like that. You had Solomon the Trader in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, who was a human.
It always goes back to dinosaurs on a bloody spaceship.
Can't help it. Well, he's played by David Bradley.
Yes, he was.
Who was a brilliant actor, and I loved him in that scene. But the whole reason he did everything was profit and things like that. So usually when... Oddly enough, it reminded me of an episode of Torchwood, which featured humans profiting from a giant sea creature type thing.
Well, I remember of Torchwood, there was a lot of fucking in it.
Yes, it was. That's what you get.
Well, that one John Barrowman was in it, so what do you expect?
He didn't have too much sex in it.
Not too much, but with pretty much anything with a hole in it.
But isn't that generally how he has self-defined sort of Jack Harkness in terms of he's omnisexual?
He'll fuck anything with a hole in it.
Um,
If he can get his dick in it, he'll...
Let's keep it a bit more.
I want Captain Jack Black. I like Captain Jack.
I like Captain Jack. He said he would be more than happy to return to Doctor Who as well.
He was fun.
Yes, I liked the episode. I quite liked. It was a very social. Seemed to be a lot of social messages in this one as well. In terms of the idea of the Doctor's speeches, which is quite nice to have a few more speeches from the Doctor. The whole thing about how you define progress. Society progressing isn't industry or profit and things like that. It's how you treat one another. I really liked that.
Still
that
not
nice.
as good as Zygon speech.
Not as good, no, but that one was a proper speech. I still liked it. It was nice. It hit home. And can I just quickly say, I know you said we want to move away from the racism thing, but Sutcliffe's reaction to when he saw Bill sat down. And then the Doctor's reaction to Sutcliffe. I applauded.
It's like, well done, he needed that.
Yes, it was like, bravo! I do not have time for people like that. It's just the language that Sutcliffe used as well, because he called her a creature.
Mm.
And even then, even when she said, I don't understand, he just said, oh, you I can't remember, like, you of your kind. I'm thinking of, you are just, there's nothing nice about him. To be fair, he seems to recognise that in himself, because he even said after the speech, said that they were so eloquent, the vocabulary, the rhythm.
Oh, yeah.
It would affect anyone with an ounce of compassion. Shame, because it won't work on me.
So I'm here to be the villain, if that wasn't clear enough yet.
Well, it's clearly the idea of...
Good day, sir.
I don't care. Which, to be fair, you get people like that. It's the whole thing of, that was a beautiful speech. It would take a heart of iron to release that. Fortunately, I am one of those people. Because if a person is set in their ways, then nothing you can do will ever change their mind particularly. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but there are moments where sometimes you just won't be able to with someone. You are literally just hitting your head on a brick wall.
I call it politics.
Sometimes it is. Oddly enough...
Hitting your head against a brick wall.
It's not always. You can sometimes change people's mind, as I found out from personal experience.
Just Germany these days in general.
I'm just going to throw in Mum's views at this point, because you mentioned politics.
Oh, God, no.
Mum's first words when I asked for her thoughts on it, she said, I want to know what party he's standing for, because he's got my vote.
The Monster Raven loony.
That'd be the Monster Fighting Party or something like that, wouldn't it?
Get these illegal aliens out of...
The complete opposite. Doctor would be pro-refugee. As we've seen, he is pro all these things. Even Peter Capaldi is, the actor himself. No, it's nice to have kind of messages like that a bit more. You are right, though. I mean, this Doctor is, if you just look at some of his speeches and things like that, the Zygon speech, which is probably one of the best ones we've seen. The strong anti-war message, this one as well. I quite liked it. I liked the episode. It was nice and simple. Wasn't this big dramatic type thing.
Nice mystery.
It was a nice mystery. It was a nice mystery, interesting conspiracy as to why it was going on, wrapped up quite nicely. I do quite like the Victorian setting. It also explains why it's also...
1814 temperatures in Victoria. It's Georgian.
You're right.
Queen
Is it
Queen Victoria
Georgian?
wasn't on the throne yet, I think.
It's not. You're right. You're completely correct.
I
It
don't know off the top of my head, but I'm
is-
pretty sure she's not on the throne at that point.
No, she's not. She took the throne in 1836.
It'd be Georgian. Yeah, the difference isn't there, you all that.
I don't think it's Georgian yet.
Yeah.
Post-Georgian.
Whatever. Not Victorian.
It's not Victorian. But technically it's Napoleonic.
Proto-Victorian. Before they got the out of beta.
It's pre-Victorian.
And they're in beta at the moment. They're just
It was
working
in the
out all
alpha
bugs.
stage.
I don't know. Working out all the bugs.
No, but the whole aesthetic of it then.
Yeah.
You're right, it's not Victorian, but you wouldn't know it particularly. I like the style of it. The colours, you're right, they were quite muted. But I did quite like, is the opening bit,
Those pies.
the fish pies.
Yeah.
I don't like fish, but that's just me.
Well, that's just you. Don't like anything interesting, tasty.
I like lots of interesting food.
Just put a pile of salt on it, it's done.
Shut up. Nothing wrong with salt.
There is nothing wrong with salt. Other than heart disease, but that's no. Or buy what I found in Sainsbury's, which is reduced salt.
Reduced salt.
Salt. Like, that's cool. What is that? It's an empty container.
Good lord. I liked the first part of the episode, which was looking a bit more. It was an interesting sort of change in the relationship between Bill and the Doctor, to do with like death, because the whole nature of Bill, as she said, had never seen someone die. And even then, what I found interesting is this possibly one of the first times we've seen a child essentially die in Doctor Who?
Well, there was Adric, but no one liked Adric. So
Yeah, but Adric wasn't a child,
it acted like one. Practically was.
as in
Probably.
actually a child.
I don't know.
Acting like a child is different. But the little boy, Spider,
Yes.
he actually died.
Yes.
Which I thought, wow, that's an interesting thing to actually happen. Alright, you don't see it, per se, because he disappears
Limbs
through the ice.
flying, blood spewing.
But the whole nature of just
Do you want
that
that? Go
is...
watch Torchwood.
You know, well, yeah, Torchwood actually does have that with the child, doesn't it? Children of Earth. But yeah, because that's the thing that's usually a big no-no. But even then, Bill's reaction to... Because the Doctor didn't try to save him. He went for the screwdriver. That's what he went to save. And I found that interesting, because I thought we're seeing that element a little bit of the Doctor again. He saves those that he can, but if you know he can't, he doesn't always do anything. But that's the nature of the Doctor generally. He'll always save as many as he can, but very often he will go out of his way to make sure that everybody can, but it's odd how he has his moments of sort of choosing. That sort of, alright, poor choice of words a little bit given the episode and everything, but the coldness of the Doctor in moments like that.
I see what you did there.
It's not intentional.
They always say that.
It really
It makes
wasn't.
really bad jokes.
It really wasn't, but I can't think of another word. It is cold. It's emotionally cold.
Someone
That-
get Mr. Freeze in there.
It's not because the Doctor doesn't care, but I don't quite know how. I'm not sure if it's a position you can really defend either.
I think he realised the child was dead.
Yes, I think it
He's
was
not a
at that-
necromancer. You can't just bring them back to life.
No, he can't.
They're
do that.
dead. You move on. You
He
see
doesn't.
lots of
But equally,
people
one of the things
die.
about the Doctor is he doesn't like it when it's not like
No,
he would
it's
have.
not. It's not like, oh, thank God, another child dead.
No,
Good.
of course not. Because we do know that when he has had the opportunity to bring people back, he has. I mean, Adric, essentially, he tried to bring her back from the dead.
Oh.
But that's by the by. But no, just the whole conversation that the Doctor and Bill had afterwards when they were fighting. Yeah, the idea of how many people have you seen die. It says he doesn't know because he's forgotten. Has he killed anyone? Again, he doesn't know how many. Which is interesting to think of the Doctor kind of in a way, because when the villains talk about him, like the Daleks and that, the idea of this person seeped in the blood of 1,000 worlds, and you realise, despite the fact that we always think of him as this very much this sort of carefree, weird, quirky, eccentric character, he is someone who is steeped in death and loss, and either just wherever he goes, death follows him, or death is there before him, but it seems to follow him and those around him as well, and things like that. Alright, that's a very dark take on the character in that kind of sort of way. He can't escape. Tragedy follows the Doctor in that moments like that. But I found that an interesting moment, because that's what we see a bit more with Capaldi's Doctor. He is a darker take on the Doctor in a lot of ways. Because as we said, he moves on. He doesn't dwell on it. Because he can't. Because he's there to help people. And if you dwell on things like that, you would be... I think we must have talked about this last week, because I remember us chatting about this before. You would end up being sort of consumed by that grief. We did talk about it last week, actually, because I suddenly remembered it was a grief by plague, wasn't it?
Yes.
The idea of that, the Doctor has to keep moving, because if you stop to think of it all, you'd be consumed by it after all that tragedy. I liked the episode.
Well, I'm going to go hang myself now. I like the episode. I actually preferred it to last week's.
I think you kind of need last week's to go into this one, because they did immediately follow into one another.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah, quite literally. But it also works as an interesting point of... Because last week, it was sort of... In a lot of ways, was a lot of the strange wonderment. Because these first 3 episodes are sort of... This almost the setting up the relationship between... It's Bill's first adventures.
Yeah.
Which is setting up her experience of what's going to be like with the Doctor and travelling. So last week, as we said, no one actually died in terms of in the presence of the Doctor or whilst they were around. It was before them. So they didn't have to deal with anything like that, but there's sort of the big issues still to deal with. This week's the presence seemed more real because it was happening as they were there, which is a different sort of situation. The threat was a bit more real, it was a bit more tangible. Because it actually happened in front of them as well, before their eyes. And it was looking a bit more at history, society. Again, we come to the social matters of it, which I thought were quite nice to bring into it. Because I think Bill is only the second non-white companion, really, that we've ever had.
Do aliens count?
Strictly speaking,
they're technically not human.
Very true. Technically, we haven't had many alien companions.
Not many, but you.
And even when we had, they generally look like humans.
Well, it's easier on the budget.
Yes, it's a lot easier on the budget.
Star Trek has the same excuse.
Well, the only other one, alright, the only 2 that spring to mind were Mickey.
Yeah.
Who was only around, he was only a companion for a couple of episodes.
Well, he was there to be the punching bag.
Yep. And Martha.
Who left such a lasting impression on everyone.
But Martha's one did actually mention the fact that she was black. In the Shakespeare one, because she mentioned about is she not going to draw attention to herself when they went back there. And as we saw in Shakespearean London, not in the slightest. Because there were lots of people, it was exactly like the 21st century. It was a multicultural society. And no, you didn't have, and no one ever, you didn't have the same situation as they had with this one, with sort of victimization because of her race. Shall we talk about the end of the episode?
Can I say I do think it's the Master in there?
Yes.
Just by something Matt Lucas said.
What was
because
it?
He's got a new friend. To the knocking, but the Doctor's got a new friend or whatever he said. I was like, that's gotta be the Master. Given how obsessed both of the modern alleged Masters have been.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's still my strong... Now, which Master's in there, I don't know
Is the
yet.
key question. Unless it's both.
There'll be a fight, I think.
That'll be interesting.
It's like one.
Well, I've already seen some fans have been speculating that Missy is not the Master.
That's going to piss a lot of people off.
No, their speculation that Missy is the Rani, posing as the Master. So still a Time Lord.
Yeah.
Because we know she's got 2 hearts. Which is one potential way. It'd be interesting. If that was the case. Made Double Bluff, going back for a long time. Very different take on the Rani, to be fair.
Yeah, that's me complaining that.
Mum's thoughts on it though isn't the Master. My mum thought it was. Thinks it's the Cybermen.
Yeah, I was also thinking it could be the Cybermen.
I think it's probably going to be one of the two. I don't know.
It was just what Matt Lucas said to the knock-in.
Yeah.
Go,
My
you wouldn't say it to Cybermen because they wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care. No. My thinking would probably be that it's
the Master. Now, as to how and why the Master's in there, if we assume it's John Sim in there, I have no idea why or how. And the last time we saw John Sim was a long time ago.
It was the end of time.
Yes, with Rassilon.
But equally, I'm trying to remember if the reveal shot they've shown for this season, when they revealed John Sim's whether or not it was doors opening to reveal him.
I can't remember.
Because if it is the case, quite clearly.
Someone said he was cosplaying as John Hurt as the Doctor.
Yes, I like. He had a nice.
He does look a bit more
masterish.
Scary. Threatening, I think is the word.
Yeah.
Some people can pull off wacky and threatening, and the Master never was really. It's more laughable than genuinely.
Well, he never quite had the wackiness quite so sort of close to the surface.
No, it's not kind of
usually. Yeah, I think it's probably the Master. Who knows? It could be something completely different.
It's the next Doctor, and that's why they haven't revealed it yet. No.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. All we know until those doors open, and we know. Which may be a while.
Maybe we've not heard anything more about them sort of revealing who it is.
Day before the episode comes out, and they're like, oh, by the way, just FYI, did we forget to mention it? Whoops. Yeah, that's my theory on who's behind the doors. I don't have a reason for why yet. It's just.
Well, no. At the moment, we've got very little sort of base any of it on anyway in terms of who or what it is.
We know there's something in there.
There's clearly something because something was knocking.
Yeah.
Knocked 3 times.
I say he knocked 4 times.
No, not 3 times.
Damn it!
It wasn't 3 times, 3 times.
But yeah, who knows what will be in there?
Who knows? I'm looking forward to next week's though.
It's Poirot.
It is. It's David Suchet.
Poirot. I'm gonna miss him without doing his Poirot. It's gonna be weird.
And he is the caretaker.
Landlord, I think, isn't it?
Landlord. That's the one. Sorry.
Either way, it's a title.
It's a title rather than a character name.
Like
he is the landlord.
I'm just here to be creepy and weird. Goodbye.
I'm trying to check who wrote it. Oddly enough, I remember we were talking about the author of this week's one. It was Sarah Dollard. We liked her one last time.
What was her one last time?
I'm looking it up. The last one she did was Face the Raven.
Oh, yes, that was a good episode.
Yes, because I remember us having the conversation last week, us saying, we'll get her to write for us.
Yes.
Yes, bring her back.
We approve.
We approve. Get her to write for us. Why do we need things written for? Because we do.
I want a speech written for when I take power. I mean, get elected.
There we are.
Ignore the tanks behind me. They're just there for show.
Next week's is called Knock Knock, and that one's written by Mike Bartlett. I'm just checking.
Checking his credentials.
He's not written for Doctor Who before.
Okay, interesting.
He's written quite a few things, though. Mostly stage stuff. He wrote Dr. Foster, the BBC One drama. The Town, which was a crime drama series on ITV. Chariots of Fire for Hampstead Theatre and Gielgud Theatre. King Charles III, which is a play that, if memory serves me correctly, is getting in. Yeah, it's got an adaptation for it. He seems like he's got some good work. He's got some certainly a lot of writing experience.
Good.
We'll see how that works out for a first Doctor Who episode.
We will be watching.
Judging.
Well, that is implied in the tone.
Yes, but I'm curious to see where it goes with terms of the 2-parters and everything and 3-parters, because I'm still curious to see
Still
where
haven't worked out where they are yet.
Oh, hang on, it's 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, and 8.
Oh, that's interesting. They're all written by different people.
Not that uncommon for 2 parts written by.
Yeah, but even
it's
even
not necessarily
directors.
a death sentence. If it's
No, it's true. It's 6, 7, and 8, which is Extremis, The Pyramid at the End of the World, and The Lie of the Land.
Extremist, isn't that what Tony Stark had?
Yes, it is. But the writers are Stephen Moffat's wrote.
I assume he's already wrote it.
Yes.
Bloody hurry up if he hasn't.
He wrote it and he has written it.
Yes.
Stephen Moffat was the one who wrote Extremis. Peter Harness wrote The Pyramid at the End of the World, and Toby Whithouse wrote The Lie of the Land.
Oh.
But they changed directors as well. Now, we've seen that. I mean, that's happened before. I mean,
That's happened in TV shows before.
Yes. But that would be interesting.
Oh.
Because it's not like... Because when we've seen like 2-parters and things like that, where it's had more than one writer, one of them writes one, and then they co-write the second one. This one, it's 3 different writers. As in, there's no co-writing on the episodes either. Which is interesting. Ooh! Yeah, I'm just sorry, I was just reading about the casting on the page of Series 10. There will also be a younger version of the Landlord appearing in Knock Knock as well.
Wow.
Well, this would be interesting.
And where is this going?
I'm intrigued to see what happens with next week. It does look like sort of a nice sort of scary, the house
well,
is
there's a bunch
alive.
of kids running around a haunted mansion. I'm like, where's Scooby-Doo?
Well, it's not just a haunted mansion, it's where they live.
If David Suchet does not say, I would have gone away with this.
Too, if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Yes.
I'm sure at some point someone will make a Scooby-Doo reference. I will be more than amazed if they don't.
Get through that without making one. Well, yeah, it looks interesting. Another creepy one. With David Suchet just being, does this bother you? I'll leave. Do your Poirot voice, that was funny. Oh yeah, that was my thoughts on it.
Good, as per usual, we're in agreement. I've already said my mum's thoughts on it. She liked
we haven't
it.
had a fight yet on this.
No, my mum liked it.
Good.
She very much enjoyed it. She liked the speeches in it. She found the whole thing. She enjoyed it. Also, she's actually started listening to us now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
As I found out, because after she listened to us... She'll be listening to this one. When she listened to the last one, she rang me up.
If he gets your opinion wrong, please feel free to correct him.
Yes, please do. She gave me a right telling off, saying about my mum, with me saying, "Boys, we spent half an hour talking about it." My mum summed it up in a sentence.
Pretty much. Well, you get her.
She got very mad, saying, "Next time I do it, I will have an essay all ready for you."
Disagree with your one of us has disagreed with your mum at some point. Probably.
Oh, it's not the disagreement that annoys her. It's the whole nature of we spend ages chatting about it, and I go with, "But here's the short version by mum."
Yeah.
That was the bit she was more annoyed at. Disagreeing that's different because it's a matter of opinion, and opinions will always differ.
I think if someone disagreed with her, it was probably me. I can't remember if I ever disagreed with her on the episode. I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
There's been at least one.
Right, they start to blur for a while.
We will. If anyone wants,
so many episodes of Doctor Who just start to re-blur into it.
I was going to say, if anyone wants to listen through our previous reviews on Doctor Who to find the one that Sean
because you probably want to punch one of us by the end of it. Probably me.
I'm not saying Mum do it. I'm saying anyone.
I do that every time I look in the mirror. I go, "What an asshole."
I can't think of anything else to say about it though.
Yeah, but yeah, we're done. I think.
Yeah.
So, good episode, good atmosphere. Sadly, no Big Daddies, or they had diving suits.
I did like the diving suits.
I did like diving suits. It's like, so that's like, some like Bioshock must make Janet Bioshock.
I liked it overall. I don't really have any major problems with the episode.
No, I don't. Nothing major.
Like last week, actually, as well. The whole thing.
Other than no one burst out into song.
Did you expect someone to burst out?
Oliver Twist.
Okay.
Just expecting someone to. Both me and Mum were sitting there going, "Someone's going to sing a song in a minute." Oh, they didn't. Doctor Who needs a musical episode.
I think they've talked about it
More
before.
things need musical numbers in them. I went over this in Arkham Knight. More things need musical numbers in them. Just generally, because they're hilarious, and it's randomly going musical now.
So far, the series is doing quite well, because like last week, the whole thing is a good episode.
It's been not...
None
of the episodes have been amazing, but none of them have been
No,
terrible.
it's the thing. It's the whole thing of this is quite good.
Yeah. It's whether you can keep it up going for another 12 episodes. Well,
Yeah.
for another 9 episodes.
Mm.
Yeah,
We shall
9.
see.
To be fair, we've got lots of different... Ooh, Mark Gatiss.
He's doing the
Empress of Mars.
There's the Ice Warriors.
Woo! Ice Warriors. Need more Ice Warriors. I like Ice Warriors.
And the new kind of Ice Warriors as well, he's talked about as well.
They've been upgraded. Ironically, not by Cybermen.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the Cyber Ice Warriors now.
That needs to happen. Exactly how have they... Because it's two different, I'll complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ice Warriors are just, the grabby claws and I like them. The classic old school Ice Warriors.
Well, he was the one that brought them back last time.
Yeah, because last time he had a classic Ice Warrior. Just how exactly he's updated them. Now they go on wheels. Jetpack wheels, like Megatron from Beast Wars. It's a T-Rex on roller skates.
He was, that's because it's not the original Megatron.
I know, but just how high was someone when they came up with that concept?
Oh, because it's because he's transmetal.
I know, I've seen the episode where it happened. I was just like, what the fuck were you smoking? It's like, I now have a jet-powered T-Rex on rollerblades. I went, someone was smoking something.
Let's also not forget, though, in that same series, you have Optimus Primal, who's a transmetal gorilla who has a flying surfboard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just reminding you of that.
And Waspinator, who just gets shut on the entire time.
The universe hates Waspinator.
You do feel sorry for him after a while.
Yes, you do. He's an
and
amazing
Tarantulas, who is kind of a serial killer.
Tarantulas is creepy as.
He tried to eat one of them in the one. Yeah, he tried to eat. I'm like, Jesus
he does.
Christ.
He is mad as anything. Beast Wars is a very underrated cartoon. Generally, it's very good.
Well, the CG's not, but
it's 90s.
Very 90s.
What do you expect?
Jesus Christ! This was once good.
I still like it. It's good. It's good writing. It's good acting. It's good storytelling.
Oh. Anyway, we've got the tracks together on Transformers.
We have. Right,
we'll have different commentary on Beast Wars sometime.
Yes.
He's very excited now. He's got.
Yes.
Technically, we should G1 first. Fuck it.
No.
What? Come on, you do not want Starscream getting his shit kicked out of him every episode.
G1's great, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of episodes to go through. I'd rather go straight to Beast Wars.
Right, Jesus.
I grew up with Beast Wars more than G1.
Well, yeah, G1 was the 80s. So.
Yeah, G1 was the 80s, that's where we all started.
You can tell at times. Anyway, we got distracted. Good episode. We liked it.
Good episode.
Look forward to Poirot next week.
Yep, join us next week for Knock Knock.